5-number summary quickly and easily is always least to greatest. Laura, 1,000 points right there. And let's do this.
I found him. What's he doing? I don't know.
The 5-number summary is the following values.
He's talking to someone.
From least to greatest, min, Q1, median, Q3, and the max. Nice answers. If you put the 5-number summary in the chat, you get 1,000 points. Keep these answers coming.
What is it? What happened?
Hey everybody, we should be able to hear me now. I think the microphone is on. Yes, it's working. So let's go over here and talk about, thank you so much for having a few technical difficulties this morning. One of the screens won't turn on. We'll figure it out. Hey Nick, good to see you here. We're in a new studio. Mubot just woke up, so everyone's getting those points. Let's go over here and talk about setting some variables. First thing we're gonna do, I'm trying to get some earbuds hooked up and they're not working. You probably heard that bling being like, nope, can't get them hooked up. We're so close, and then I'll have the in-ear monitor again, but good to see everyone here. Let me put up the notes for today, and we'll get started on, this is BAS 320, I think, setting variables. Nayeli, good to see you there, so let's put the note in the chat. The current time is 9:13, BAS 320, setting variables. Okay, let's go do it. So, whoop, there's the notes. Wait, it's on the wrong screen. Ah, 1 second here. Why is it capturing that screen? Where's the notes of what I'm taking? Oh, there you go. Changing back. Let's see. I guess I'm doing, well, I guess I'm going to screen capture this one. Why is it screen capturing that? I think because the screens got rearranged. I'm recapturing another screen. Okay, let's go over to here. Here we are on this screen, the other screen. And you're on your other account. Nice, you can get all those points. Let's throw out some points. So let's do some variables. Oh my gosh. We're gonna change the monitor out. I am so close to having this studio the way I want it. So 1 second here as we do some technical difficulties. There we go. Who knows if you heard that noise or not? I hope you did. With that, please tell me if there's any technical difficulties. We're still finalizing some stuff over here, but we're getting it all worked out. Camera quality's better, and you should hear me because I can see the audio down there. So with this, let's go ahead. Awesome. Thank you, Nayeli. And I'm working on, I think I was peeking a little bit on the audio. That looks better now. So let's go over here and set a variable. So inside of R, this is where you write your R script. Now, I'm going to point something out right here. You can do an R script, which is basically just R code, or you can do something like an R markdown file. Now, an R markdown file is going to be very different from an R script. An R script is just code, where a markdown file is where you can actually turn it into a Word document. So this is just an R script, and an R script is only R code. So we can do things here like 2 + 2, and then we can run it by hitting Control-Enter or Command-Enter. You can also highlight code to run it, send it down to the bottom. There's a lot of ways to run code, so you have to evaluate and run your code and send it down here. I'm gonna reverse image myself. Send it down there to the console. So any questions about this so far right here as I reverse image myself? I thought we had already done that, but because it's that way and I'm used to pointing. That's why I'd reversed image my reversed image. But you're wondering about how do you set variables? How do you set variables? So with setting a variable, I guess we've got to get used to pointing over here now, just over there. To set a variable, you can go right here and put something like x, save it into 5. Does that make sense right there? How does that look, Nayeli? So if you look at this now, in the global or the brain of R above my head is 5. And so it now knows that x is equal to 5. So you can also do this right here and say equals 5. I don't like that way of doing it. Yeah, left on the, how much was left on the 6th day? On how much was left? Oh, is it, because is this the pre-quiz? Are you working on the pre-quiz where you divide and add and do that sort of thing? I think that one, I think I know which question you're talking about. I'm trying to read the screen from far away. Like I said, the one screen's out. So what you can do, there's a lot of ways to do this type of question. So I'm not gonna quite do the question, but you're on the right track. So what you can do, like let's say we have something where we start out x is equal to 5. And it can be anything. You can call something Brian and store it into whatever you want. And it doesn't matter what you store it into. And you can just store these things right here. I figured out the long, well then you figured, nice job. So there's a lot of cool ways to do this problem. And one way is to do it manually right here and take Brian and say divide by 2. And then we could store right here and say plus 5. So we just did that operation right there. But then you could take, and this kind of gives it away a little bit, and overwrite the quantity of Brian. Does that make sense right there? So every time I run this, it's going to overwrite Brian. Does that make sense, Nayeli, right there? So we have Brian is originally this value, and this, I think you get theoretically, I'm talking about how to do the problem without quite doing it, kind of giving it away. I really need to change the orientation, so I point over there to the problem. But this is basically how to do it. But here's the thing, you can watch above me as the quantity changes. So do you see the quantity changing right there where Brian should change each time I run it? So there it is, Brian is changing each time. One right, so each time it counts as on my way. So every time you run that, it's going to change it. But watch this. We can append code. This is how to append code right here with a semicolon. So what a semicolon does is it runs 2 lines of code at once. Does that make sense? So I am running this line of code right here, and then I'm also running this line of code right here. So now every time I run this, it's going to show me the output of it. So there's the first operation, or maybe step 2 for you, the third, the fourth. Oh, am I not overwriting? Oh, because watch out. Here is writing Brian writing the value into Brian, and then I'm going to run the operation here. I kept overwriting Brian with the first line of code. I run this, run it, run it, run it, run it. And you see, I can see what the value is on the screen each time. But wait, there's more. How about we do this right here? Let's add a counter, and let's put the counter to how many times we've run the code, or the step you're on. Does this make sense? We're kind of making it easier to follow. So what if you lose count? Watch this right here. We're going to set the counter to 2 because I think you're on step 2 for your problem. So with the counter set to step 2, on the next line, let's go here to counter, save into counter plus 1. Now, every time I run this, what is this going to do to the counter? And great job, Nayeli. Hopefully this is making sense. We're just talking over some theory on how to do stuff. Every time I run this, what is this going to do to the counter? So every time I run this, this is going to make the counter do what? Add 1s to the counter, exactly. So then we're going to go to this line, and we're going to go paste counter step counter. So this is going to paste at the end of this. Not past, paste. And it's going to say counter step 9. Does that make sense? It's an appended line of code. Remember, the semicolon runs another line of code also. And then paste puts words and values together, or variables together into a sentence. So now it's going to say counter step 9. Does that make sense? We could just have it say the step, but that's a little nicer right there. Or if you want to be really fancy, you put it inside of a cat, which just has it printed out to the screen like that. These are all just fancy things, additional things that we can see. Don't worry, if you get the answer, that's all that matters. But watch this. Yes, I like it. I like when we're seeing cool things. So now we reset all the values. I just highlighted all this code, hit Control or Command Enter to reset it. And now I'm going to highlight all this code, and I'm not going to lose count because I can see every time I'm doing it. Oh, is it not showing Brian? Why didn't it show Brian? Or we should say, watch this. Value of, we got to put in quotes. Do you know what quotes mean, Nayeli, if it's inside quotes? The difference between it being in quotes and not being in quotes? We'll say value of Brian is, and then we'll put Brian right here. Do you know that difference? If it's inside of quotes, it's words. It's called a string, and that changes what is called the class of something in R. So we call it a string right here. This is a string, and that's words. And this is going to be the value Brian over here in the brain of R. So the good news is I'm going to delete this off right here. Now I'm going to reset the values. And then I'm going to go here and run all this code. And at the end of it, it says value of Brian is this, counter step 2 or 3. Uh-oh. Maybe we should make it go to step 2 first, or step 1. There we go, because we're adding 1 to it. So there we go, counter step 2. And now we run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. And it'll just keep track of the values. There's a lot of other ways to do this question. Do you want to see like a more advanced way? Kind of maybe if we really wanted to track it, how to do it? Like, what are you thinking, Nayeli? I can go over different topics. I don't have everything on the one screen. And man, my far vision is bad these days. Sorry, maybe people remember. I've been having issues seeing things at a distance. but it's slowly working. But we can do, there's a really fun way to do this problem, and 474 should definitely check this out. That was the main question you had. Well, check this out. I'm gonna show you an advanced thing if you want. It'll be in the video too if you have to go. But here's what I would say is a little bit more advanced. Hey, Nick, could you have the question, what is the value in the amount after it's been updated 10 times total? It should be a little above 150. Yeah, awesome. Head off to class, Nayeli, and I'm gonna kind of go over Nick's question right here and show a for loop. So Nick, that's 474 or is it 320? Which, is that 320 or 474? I've got a lot of different assignments. So I'm like, it's coding for sure, I know that much. And so if you're updating something, you can kind of use this way of doing it, but I'm gonna show a more advanced. 320 right there. Is it the in class? You're welcome. Good morning, Josh. Good to see you here. Thank you. You're in Petrie's class. I'm gonna show you an advanced way and tell you how to update something with a little more advanced knowledge. But do you see this method I just did on the screen right here? This method you see on the screen will work, and you can just kind of keep track of it here. So here is a better way of updating something, and it gives you a peek at kind of some more advanced code. So we've got kind of the simple way, like we could just go here and say value, and we could store it as value like 12, and then we could overwrite value and do 12 divided by 3 plus 8, and we're going to, of course, take the original value. So sure, we put 12 value, gotta make sure to use the capital. So you could keep updating it. Watch as value over here changes. See where my mouse is at. If I run this code right here, value, oh, literally it's the same value. Because you divide by 3, it's 4, add 8. So I was like, why is it not changing? Now we can keep running this code. So does it make sense that you would kind of need to keep track of this if you kept hitting it? Does that make sense, Nick? If you're doing it this way, and this is a different thing, but it's updating a value inside of R, storing the value into the value, putting it in the brain, and then updating the value multiple times. So this is a different spin on a question that you can work right here. Kind of shows you the syntax of how everything's working. But here's what we could do. Watch this. This is an advanced way, and please ask any questions if you're wondering about them. Let's go here and type 4. We're doing a little bit advanced here today. Now, what a for loop does is it takes a variable. A variable is just a placeholder. I'm going to call it I, just a name for it. And then we're going to have it go through a vector. Do you understand what a vector is, Nick? And this is good review right here. Like, what is a vector? Can you explain to me what is a vector? That's a vector on the screen right there. So what is a vector? What in the world is a vector? What is a vector? How would you describe a vector to someone? Could say a lot on it. What is a vector? One of the great things about R, if you're ever confused on something, I think there's a vector code, right? There's vector. So you can kind of see some information. Magnitude and direction. That's very mathematical right there. Good answer. So when we have vectors here, a vector is going to be a one-dimensional kind of things in one dimension. They've got positions in them. Does that make sense? Very mathematical in your definition. Great answer. Let's throw some extra credit for that answer. So you've got the mathematical, and then we've got the coding idea of what a vector is, that this is a vector of numbers that goes from 1 to 10, and so it has 10 positions in it, or we didn't store the vector. We'll just call this y. So there is a vector of numbers in y, and it's an integer vector. Integer is the class. There's 10 positions, and the things in positions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You could change this right here and do something like 91 to 100 and overwrite the vector, and you can see it over there in the brain of R. These are the positions right here. I'm used to being mirrored. Those are the positions in Y, and Y has integer class. That's how R sees it in its brain. And then the values right there. Really nice here. I can go over and remove Darren and Brian. Sorry, Darren and Brian. And we won't have them inside the brain, or just go right here and dustpan it, and everything's gone. So now let's talk about how to overwrite a value repeatedly. So the for loop is going to be the easy way of doing this, or the quicker way, more advanced way. I'm going to go here and say print y. Now I want you to see what happens. We're going to put right here the vector of 1 to 10, and what is it going to print? Oh, because we printed y. Should have printed I. It prints the numbers 1 to 10. Does that make sense, Nick, right there? How are we doing on this knowledge, Nick? This is a little more advanced, and you could use this to do what you're doing, and you'll do it super quick. How's this knowledge right here on what that did? Makes sense, right? So how about if I go here and I say paste, and I say this is run number, and then I put here I. Oh, gotta go cat. It's gonna look weird because it's gonna not do new lines. So we'll go to cat, and it does that. We can make it look prettier by doing a cat paste. Good way to put words to the screen. It's still gonna, oh, I think I put an extra parentheses. I have what's on called rainbow parentheses right now, which is really nice. I'm gonna do a special character here. Don't worry about these types of things. And now you see it says this. So don't worry about the code inside the loop. Does it make sense what the loop is doing? It's just saying, this is run number 1, this is run number 2. We call it a for loop. So it's gonna loop through and do for each thing in the vector the loop inside of it. I is just a placeholder which is replaced with the numbers. How about I go here and say kids, and I say Brian, we'll go in order, Emily, Brian, Darren. And then I say, right here, let's say I can just be called I again, for kids, and we say, cat, my name is, and we'll go to kids. You see it says my name is Emily, Brian, Darren. So with this right here, oh, because I ran that line, we go to this and it does that, and we could use the same format, but it goes through and does it for each thing in the for loop. So here's where it gets interesting. You ready? Let's take our code where we want to update a vector. So let's say how many times do you want to update the vector? 10 times? What if we wanted to do it 1,000 times? So let's go here and say vector, and we'll say rep NA 1,000 times. So what do you think this code right here did? Actually, I'm going to say here vector 1. There you go. Is it vector? Let's go concatenate. What do you think this code is doing right here, Nick? Any idea on what the code I just wrote did? What does rep do? What is NA? I'm trying to show some other things right here and get towards your answer. What does rep do? What is NA? Do you know what any of those things are? What does rep do? You can test out rep right here. Let's try rep 102. So we should know what this code will produce then. We always talk about return code as a sentence. That code right there, rep 102, says, not representing, good guess right there, more points. It's not representing, it stands for repeat. So it says repeat 102 times. So this says repeat 102 times. This says repeat 44 3 times. So you see 44, 44, 44. So what I have right here is I'm concatenating, which kind of joins things together. Petrie mentioned a new word for it, which really good. I gotta remember because I was like, that makes more sense. But concatenating is like bringing things together to make a vector. And so when you see this right here, we are putting these values into a vectors 3, 2, 5. So that's the vector 3, 2, 5. And then you could see it if I store it here as x. Does that make sense? And then x is the vector 3, 2, 5 with 3 positions right up there, 3, 2, 5. So what am I doing up here? I'm saying make a vector. So that's the make a vector part of this. And then the first thing in the vector is 1. And then the next 99 things, because I'm repeating it 99 times, is NA. Now, NA is a special character which stands for missingness, which means what's in those positions in the vector there? What's in the positions in the vector right there? What is in the positions in the vector? NA is a very important thing to know. So what is in the positions in the vector over there? What's in there? What does NA mean, basically? It's a special character that stands for what? What does it stand for? Kind of not available, it means missing. So nothing's there. It means like a nothing at all. So we have right there nothing inside the vector. So it's not going to do anything with that. So now let's take this vector and operate with what's inside of it and update it. So how about we go right here to our for loop, and let's say we want to take, and we're going to go right here, we're going to go in I, and we're going to have it run the numbers 1 through 1,000, or 2 through 1,000. And I'll tell you why. The first time this vector updates itself, it's going to update on position 2. Then the next time it'll update on what, Nick? So the first time it updates, it'll update on position 2, and then the for loop's going to circle around because it's a loop. So it'll update on position 2, then it'll update on what? Just think logically, because I have it starting at 2. I'm saying when you run, start with 2, and then go to what? You can get a hint right here if we run this. So the first time this updates, it'll start with 2, and then it'll loop back and it'll do 3, then 4, then it'll keep going till it hits 1,000. This is what the loop's going to run for I. So every time the loop runs, it'll just replace I with this number. It'll run I as 2, then I as 3, then I as 4, till it gets to 1,000. It'll loop. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to vector, and here's a key thing, position number I. The first time this loop runs, it won't be I inside of there. It'll be what? The first time this loop runs, it's not going to be I, because I is just a placeholder. The first time this loop runs, I will be replaced with what? And you're really advanced if you understand this. This is a huge step forward in coding, but just think what I said, how this works with the numbers that replace I. And start at the very beginning. When the first time the loop runs, I have it set that I will be what? Don't worry about getting it wrong here, because you know we throw out points for all answers. What will the loop be the first time it runs? The very first time it runs, it'll be 2. Perfect answer, because I set it to go from 2 to 1,000. So we're going to update position 2, and here's where it gets interesting with what is in position, and these are square brackets here. It's right above your enter key, the square brackets in position I minus 1, because I minus 1 will evaluate to position what? So think since it's 2, I'm saying go to position I minus 1, so it's going to take what is currently in position what in this vector? Because I is 2, so it's going to say go to position 1. And then in position 1, we could take whatever is in position 1, times it by 8, like do some operation on it, and and then add to it 3. So whatever operation you're thinking of doing, you could do this right here, or 3 like I said. And then watch this, we run this, and now we go to vector, infinity. How quickly we reach infinity. So maybe I shouldn't have times it by 8, I should have times it by like 1.2. We'll reset the vector right here. Where did I make my vector? Here's our vector. Whee! I'm just gonna slide around the code real quick. So now rather than hitting infinity so fast, hopefully we get some real numbers right here that are fun to look at. And there you go right there, some really big numbers, because this just starts, it's kind of like compound interest. But does that make sense? This ran it 1,000 times. So I could look at the answers right here and the operations that were done, clear the console so you can see a little bit better. But how's that looking, Nick, right there? But this is 1,000 times or iterating through this. And that's what coding's really good for, is like, I didn't have to like sit around and do the math on it. I can just get the answers like that really quickly. It is doing scientific notation, if you notice, after this point, like that'd be 32.7, it looks like. How's it, understand it? Yep. And then there are the other ways. We talked about the other ways of doing these problems right here, where you can just go in and do it manually right here by setting the value. But then how would you apply that to my problem? So you're trying to figure out the 10th instance, right? You're performing an operation. I'm trying to remember because there's a few questions like this, where it's like, take this value that's like 5, do some mathematical operation on it, and then run it 10 times, right? So when you think about it, if you're only running it 10 times, and make sure you've ran the operation 10 times, you could set this equal to 10. And this is identical, and we probably need to reset our vector. So let's only set it to rep that many times. And there's 10 runs of it. So boom, we just ended on 10. So this is the same thing, but I stopped the loop from going 1,000 times. It only went, or it only completed to a length of 10 now, which means there's 10 items in here. This tells you the position, that's position number 9. So that's position number 10. You can also see it over here with the vector stored in the brain. You can see the positions or the values in the positions over there. Is it making sense how to do yours, Nick? There is the manual way too, and I would try it 2 ways. I would try it, doing it this way and the manual way too, because if we wanted to, we could have had vector. Are you in it? Yes. Please keep asking questions. So you could do it manually right here. And watch this. If you go down here, you can take vector and overwrite vector. And notice here, the next number we should get should be, I'm gonna have it print vector afterwards, should be 4.2. Make the screen go up so we can see it. But this is doing it manually right here where it says, oh, it says NA, because we don't have anything stored in vector probably. There we go. Or we didn't have one thing. And then, find out what the problem, oh, I have I. So we need to, oh, we just take vector. I've changed it from a for loop. Okay, now let's take vector, run it, and run this, and we should get 4.2, 8.04, 12.6. So I'm doing the same thing that was done up here, but doing it in steps now. So this is the way to do it that's not complex, but you don't get the nice vector of information. But does this make sense? Line 33 stores into vector, which is just a name for something, the value of 1. Line 34 overwrites vector with the value of vector times 1.2 plus 3. Line 35 prints to the screen vector. So this just calls what is ever inside of vector and displays it on the screen right there for us. You could also append this to append code, put a semicolon, and then you can just run this one line right here. Also, if we're not advanced, and it keeps advancing my line on me, you can highlight it and just run the thing repeatedly. It's going to do the same process as we would by storing it. And that's why I kind of like storing things, you know, creating something, seeing what it does over time. Any other questions there, Nick? I hope you've got the answer to your question. Kind of show multiple ways of doing kind of the same idea right here. And then we've covered some more advanced things that you'll want to hear over and over again, like what is missingness? What are vectors? What does concatenate mean? These are kind of the basics that we use. What does rep mean? Repeat things multiple times. But be here and ask those questions. It's the only way to know. I understand, yes. I don't know why my monitor is. I'm going to turn on the monitor real quick. I can walk around the room now. See, it's really cool that you can actually hear me as I walk around. I'm turning back on the monitor. We're going to hope it gets connection. And then the camera lighting gets better. Why did the camera light get better lighting and then like... That's so weird. I have no idea. Here, I'll walk out of frame again. And then we'll walk back in frame. It's better lighting when I come into frame. What do you think of the new setup, Nick? I can actually walk around. I've got a wireless mic here. One of the monitors is not working today. I can't get the earbuds working. So ask any questions you have. I might try to get these earbuds working because I can't hear anything. I can't play Mr. T. I mean, I can, but I won't hear him. So I'm really bummed that there's the Bluetooth stuff. Oh, you can see all the Bluetooth stuff now. I don't think it's anything personal. Thank you, Colin. Good to see you here from Disney. Hope you're doing well. I'm trying to get this working. Let's head over to the main screen right here. It's the new setup. I got some music playing now, I hope. Yeah, the music is playing. Music wasn't playing right last time. So, but for some reason, it's not finding the AirPods. We got a new camera. I've got more space. I'm still limited on some areas to the left and the right of me. I zoomed in, so I'm a little more HD. So I'm hoping the Touch 1 students like that got a little better camera quality now. And the earbuds are just not connecting to the PC. And that means I don't have an in-ear monitor. And I could try to get some headset, but then I'm gonna be wired in again. I was like, this is so perfect. I'll have the earbuds in and I can just move around. And of course, it does not make sense. Well, if you have questions, ask. I think my class is at 11:20. I think I'm gonna go to Google Calendar. How's everything about you, Colin? We got moved back to Tennessee, so I'm back in Tennessee now, like I said, with the new office. Things are finally settling down some. So here we'll say, getting the office working, 36. Working on the office setup. Setting variables and basics of R. There we go. This is driving me crazy because very well preparing for a hurricane. Oh no, hope you're fine with the hurricane. Thank you. Yeah, it's so good to be back. It's so good. Oh, headphone connecting. It's connected before and then it like hasn't done it. It's gonna make a real connection this time. We're partway there. Oh, we're halfway there. It says it's connecting. So got the music. I have miss my in-ear monitor. Why is it having so much trouble? Why, oh why? Couldn't connect, try again. That's not cool. AirPods, couldn't connect, try again. Connecting. Mubot is just talking away right there. AirPods, couldn't connect. Try again. Press and hold. I know the set button on the charging case for 10 seconds. The light will flash white, which means that your AirPods are ready to connect. Hold the charging case with your app. Press inside the next to open. Next to your Mac. Follow this from set up on the screen. AirPods paired. Okay, disconnect. Okay, good. Okay, I don't hear any audio. We're paired. I don't see audio on it. Okay, it says it's paired. Trying to get it working. It doesn't show up. Okay, you guys might hear. I'm gonna keep playing audio and hopefully we get it working. I don't know if you're hearing anything. Why Stream Deck? We're so close, Colin. We're so close. Output default. I don't want to change that. The AirPods are supposed to show up in like my sound though. And they don't, even though it says it's paired. It says it's paired. Sound settings. Is it the Go XLR? Let's see. I don't want to play anything copyright. Okay, let me play my own stuff in the background. We only got one person watching. Ah! So play my own video. You might hear my own video in the background. So let me go to an epic speed run of statistics. It's me. No, it's just me. Probably hearing epic speed run.
Now,
I got my own video playing. If you,
the difference between a parameter and a
yep, you can hear the own. You can hear it,
Let's say we want to know,
but I can't hear it.
M&Ms are
Let me see if I can get this
chipped or something.
working.
So we have M&Ms that are properly made.
Because you probably
These
hear
are
the video, which I
parameters
can't
of
hear, which is a
interest.
bummer
When you
because
look at what a parameter is,
I wouldn't know
parameters
if this
can
video
go
is playing, and
up.
usually I can hear a sound.
Parameters are a characteristic.
It says the
An idea
AirPods are still
like
connected, doesn't
the
it?
percent of M&Ms that are properly made, or the percent of M&Ms that are blue, or maybe the average weight of an
nothing
M&M.
input.
This is something that is true for the population.
Test 1, 2. We're still
We
good.
often think about parameters like maybe
Test 1, 2.
the percent of students that
1,
are
2.
in-state at the University of Tennessee as
Advanced
things
sound.
that we actually know. Now, sometimes we don't know the parameters.
Why
like
are the
maybe
AirPods
we'll
not
never
showing
know
up?
the true proportion of M&Ms that are but that might be something we want to understand. And that understanding is obtained
don't
from a
know.
statistic which comes from a sample. This is where I always say PPSS. Population parameters are the
Good
things we
morning,
want to
Cameron. What question is it? Lurking here? Awesome, Cameron. I stopped the video in the background. We're doing some troubleshooting. I'm so close to having the AirPods working, and I have no idea. Thank you to my department, got me the AirPods. I know how to hook stuff up. It says the AirPods are paired. Like, I know how to pair AirPods, and I'm like, why? They're paired. Usually it has like connect, disconnect, and I've had that problem, but it says they're paired. Switch audio to AirPods on PC. Select the settings, go to sound. That's where I did. On the input, select, I know, that's what I did. How's your morning going, Cameron? We're just chilling out before class, it looks like. They're showing it on a Mac. There we go. Bluetooth and devices, that's what I did. Bluetooth, went there, add device, Bluetooth, found the AirPods, and then troubleshoot. Okay, maybe I need to troubleshoot. I am so close. Other troubleshoots. Additional troubleshoots. Audio, playing audio. Detecting problems, detect the problem, please. Oh, it says on the Bluetooth I need to run it. Good, just waiting for class. You're welcome. Let's add you as a mod here. We've got, what, 27 minutes before class. We'll end here in a little bit. Which of these devices do you want to troubleshoot? Yay. Is it Bluetooth? It's not showing me the Bluetooth. That's the problem. The problem is, let me go to Bluetooth and troubleshoot the Bluetooth. Okay. You are now a mod on the channel. I've got a screen that's not working today. The AirPods are still not working. We're so close. When you have a bunch of technology, it's getting it all perfect, getting it all working. Let's see. Problems found. Check Bluetooth radio status. Fixed. Oh, we'll get through it. We will. Okay, it fixed a problem. We might have fixed it. We're so close.
Thing. We're a
No, we're still not getting audio. Why? You like the DataCamp app? I have to check it. I've never used the DataCamp app. Is it pretty neat? Like, what does it have on it? Maybe I should download that and check it out. I'm checking out Bluetooth again. How's the DataCamp app? AirPods paired. They're still paired. Okay, well, maybe we should run it again. But it says the AirPods are still paired. Let me take them out and put them in again, because I think it like activates them. Okay, we're gonna put them in the case again. They're in the case. There we go. Put them on here. Put them back in the ears. It gives you XP in a video and a problem-based. Yes, DataCamp is really well done. Like, shouts to DataCamp giving us the free access. Really good way to practice and learn stuff. So definitely use it. So Bluetooth, third time's a charm. Are they still paired? They're still paired. They look like they're connected. So we go to sound settings. Might try resetting the computer here in a little bit. Sound settings. I'm playing the video in the background again.
Is how we make inferences, that's why we call it inferential statistics, into the population. So from this sample right
I
here,
wonder if
we
it's
will
the
get
Go
an
XLR
estimate
causing a
of the
problem. Go XLR, are you causing a problem? Are you causing issues, Go XLR? Because it does have a microphone on the back. And I don't know. Routing. Headphone, where's headphones at? Console game, music, chat, mic, system samples, headphones. Everything's on the headphones, but is it overriding me? I don't know. I'm so close, and all I want to do is hear the audio. And I have no idea why the AirPods are not showing up. Okay, let me troubleshoot again. We'll try this right here. Thank you everyone for dealing with the technical difficulties, small technical difficulties. Have you done any BS 320 speedruns? We haven't. You know, we should make some. What do you have suggestions for? I think that'd be cool. I think some BS 320 speedruns would be really good. I'm going to troubleshoot the Bluetooth here in the background while we do that. I'm so close to having this working. Then I got to get that monitor working. I'm so close. Just have to get the earbuds working, get the monitor working. It says it's fixed. It says you fixed the problem. Did you fix it? Okay, I'm gonna run it again on the same thing because it keeps saying it's fixed. It keeps saying here's the problem and I fixed it. And if I run it again, it's probably gonna do it here. I'll show you over here. I don't think we're showing anything. Turning on Bluetooth. It keeps saying it's fixed. Problem found. Check Bluetooth radio status. And then it says it's fixed. So I'm like, okay, you fixed it, right? It means it's fixed. And then playing audio, run troubleshooter. AirPods not showing up in sound. Let's type that in. AirPods not showing up on sound. AirPods won't become an audio output device. No output AirPods PC. Okay. Okay, might need to restart the computer. Disconnect other audio devices. Well, that's gonna be fun if I have to do that. We've updated. Thank you, Nick. I'm gonna do updates. Which is probably a bad idea before class. Check for updates, or we're up to date as of this morning. I don't meet the minimum security requirements. Downloading an update right here. Track control panel. Oh wait, where's that at? Playback tab. Okay. Control panel. Go to control panel. I know, Cameron. That's... I can probably do it. Need to... I like doing tours of the setup. Okay, in control panel, select control panel. I'm in control panel. They changed it, didn't they? Sound under control panel. Hardware and sound. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait, that actually looked good. AirPods. And then it's like grayed out. Paired. Troubleshoot. We're troubleshooting them. Are you on? Well, you might have switched accounts, Cameron. You might have 2 accounts. Troubleshooting couldn't identify the problem. Well, that's not good. Properties. Hardware. Bluetooth. Services. Oh? I might have fixed it. Okay. Oh, they're lighted up now. I didn't want to confuse me about... Oh, no, you can get points on both accounts. I'll mod this account, too. And then just tell me if you have points on the other account. Okay. The AirPods are lit up now. This is good news. This is good news. We actually have the AirPods lit up. Did I actually fix... Oh, my gosh. Sound settings. We have sound settings now on the AirPods. Headphones. Why are they grayed out? Connect. We're so close. We're so close. You're welcome. Connect to these. Connect to my AirPods, please. Why are we so close, but it seems so far? They're officially part of the system now. Troubleshoot. We need to get ready for class here in a moment. Troubleshoot doesn't find anything wrong with them. They show up now, and they're not a grayed out device. Here, I can show you on the screen. Something. There's a bunch of stuff connected. So, got a whole bunch right here. And so the AirPods show up. Oh, wrong button. There we go. I want to get the in-ear audio working. I want to get it working. Why is it not working? We are so close. So very, very close. Properties, hardware. Maybe I should try reconnecting. I feel like I'm gonna get it working right before class. Or hearing the audio and knowing what's happening on stream is very important. Like hearing your audio. I'm a Google fanboy and use the Pixel Buds. I have to say I like AirPods a lot more though. Yeah, my wife has them and I really like them. So that's why I was like, oh man, like it would be really good to have these as in-ear monitors. Like, you know what, like a monitor is like, I can hear what's going on. I can hear what I'm saying. I can hear the volume levels if there's crackling because the volume's too loud. So they call it an in-ear monitor, and just lets you monitor what's going on while you're streaming. And so I'm so close, but yet it seems so far at times. Well, that's where they were at. Headphones, AirPods Pro Stereo. And so try sound settings again. We're like one click away if they show up. So it says they're not connected. It's doing the thing and try throwing them against the wall a few times. I might. I'm about at that level with these. I'm about to be like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know if it's this PC or what, and we have another PC, so might be changing over, but like, that didn't work. Make sure your Bluetooth device is still discoverable and then try again. Cameron likes that idea. Cameron's here. We'll throw some points for that. But yeah, it's, how does the audio sound from me? I'm making sure it's not too high. It looks like my audio is good. I'm gonna bring it down just a little. Here we go. We're bringing it way down now. I'm gonna bring it back up. There we go. So I'm not peaking with this audio. I think this is good audio. I brought it down just a little bit. Sounds good. I noticed last class there was a little bit of peaking in the audio. And I'm gonna have to bring Dwight over here. So, well, I'm gonna let everyone go. We got 15 minutes before class. What mic to use? It's a Sennheiser, so it's a wireless mic, Sennheiser microphone. Thank you to Dwight and everyone. It should get, how much battery life do I have right now? 17 hours? If I leave it off the charger, I'll be good. It says it's got 17 hours of battery life, I believe. So this allows me to move around. Oh, and you're gonna be the first one to see this. Are you ready for a first sneak peek? Here we go. There we go. So this is the new, hopefully I'll see how this looks on stream. We got the board over here zoomed in. I guess I look this way to look at the camera now and talk to you this way. What do you think? So this is the new second camera setup we're doing, and then I'm gonna start writing things. I don't actually have an eraser right now, but we're getting this set up on Friday right here. So second camera view. Thank you so much. And I should have my space buttons over here on the second stream deck. So basically working to keep this looking nice and looking good. I'm gonna look at the video quality later, but this is the first time I've actually recorded it on YouTube. We'll head back over here. I gotta put the buttons over here. Where's my buttons? I don't have the buttons to get back over right now. Rick's folder. I can end the stream though. Bye for now. Coming back for, oh, are you? Oh really? I think college is having fun. Well, I've got the outro screen here. So bye for now. Bye. Do I still have audio on the screen? I do. I'll see you in class here in a moment. Bye, Cameron. Bye, Colin.